Hey, it's Denise, and I'm sorry it's been so long since I've put up a new video. I've had some health problems, and see, Percy's getting bigger and bigger. We are temporarily staying at my mom's house, and being that Percy now requires, she has an extra large crate, which she's had for a while at home. So I basically had a duplicate of her stuff at home shipped to my mother's house. So this way, when we come back and forth, I don't have to take everything apart. Because at home, I have it, installed. I have, hardware holding the stuff securely to the wall, covering outlets and stuff. So, and my mother did not want holes, put in her walls in her living room or her back room. So, to give her a nice big play area takes more than one of those puppy playpens. It takes really two of them put together. So in addition to her regular crate, which you've seen, if you've seen any of my other videos, in her regular room at home, we decided the best place for Percy and I was to take over the basement. So I can just give you a quick view. What you see behind me, that stripy blanket with the blue underneath it, is that's my air mattress with my bed, and my smart girl here very quickly realized that was Mommy's bed. And, so if I'd say, oh, let's, grab a Chewy and sit on Mommy's bed, she'd go grab one of her toys, specifically to her, Chewy is like a bully stick or something edible, and she'll bounce up on there. But basically behind me, we have her crate. Like I said, same size as what she has at home. Now, putting it together, we kind of had to use two pieces of, one is the doorway and one is an extra piece of panel. So it makes a short hallway, like a maybe 1.5 to 2 foot little hallway between the crate and the playpen. And then she's got about a 6 foot by 8 foot playpen. So she's got plenty of room to walk around. And then while I'm supervising her, she can walk around the whole basement, and I can kind of see her wherever she goes just to make sure she doesn't get in trouble. My big girl, we had our ups and downs with dietary issues. We had thought we found the perfect dog food. It turned out she couldn't eat it. The diarrhea came back within a couple weeks. We're back on, like I think I mentioned last time, we're back on the home-cooked diet, which is each day she eats, now this is after I've cooked and drained the grease off it, each day she gets 2.5 cups of ground beef, a cup of the high-fat, real Greek yogurt, not the diet stuff that's low in lactose, high calorie, it's not diet food. So she gets a cup of that, a cup of pumpkin puree, a cup of applesauce, a doggy multivitamin, and probiotics. And on that, she's doing super. As you can hear, because we're in an unfamiliar environment, yes, I do have her, I'm letting her keep her litter box during the daytime, just because I want to make it clear to her that even when you're a good girl, that, because dogs don't generalize. Just because she's litter box trained at home doesn't mean that she knows that you treat every indoor space the same way. So you should never get mad at your puppy if you bring them to a new place and they have an accident, because really it's our fault for not teaching them the rules. And if you don't have them on a leash, at first she didn't get to walk around this basement by herself. She had to earn that, and that was by walking around with me on a leash, checking it out, being told WRONG, which is our word for you're not doing the right thing. You should be doing something different, and usually then is, immediately presented with something different. She's pretty much past the puppy play biting almost, where, she's a little over 6 months. But every once in a while, especially if she's getting a cranky toddler, she's played, she's had her meal, she needs a nap, but she doesn't want to take a nap, that's when the kind of rough play biting will start. And I'll have to tell her WRONG and try to divert the biting onto a toy or a Chewy. And, really the only time I'm seeing that now is when she is overdue for a nap. It's like you've got, a dog that's the size of a small bear cub, but, the mind of a baby. So she's doing great, and just to make sure she generalizes that, yes, even in, in this house, and a friend's dog has had accidents in this house. So I know they just cleaned it with regular cleaner. They did not use like Nature's Miracle or any of the enzyme type cleaners that really help break down that urine and feces smell. So to another dog, it could smell like anywhere in here is the right place to go to the bathroom. So I want to make sure it's clear to her by having her litter box, even in the daytime, which at home she doesn't need it anymore. She only uses it overnight. A very good girl. You see her kind of bopping around behind me. Just jumped up on my bed. Let's see if there's enough lighting over there. Here's Miss Purse. Here's Miss Purse. You want to come say hi? Do you want to come say hi? You say hi to everybody. She didn't really come up high enough for you to see her. I'm sitting kind of like on one of those, like, it's one of those round tables that's like more the height you think of like at a bar, and it's on like a taller like stool kind of a chair. But while I'm sitting up and doing stuff, I let her have free access because, like I said, from this point I'm kind of central. The basement stairs are right just in front of me, so I can see around to the different corners of the basement, and I can let her walk around, stretch her legs. We throw the ball around. We play tug of war. Patrick is with me. He takes her out for her walks every couple hours, and really, she's adjusting super. We hang out and chew on stinky bully sticks. Well, I personally don't chew on them, but she does, and she likes to do that, like right in your face, like, here, you might like this. And it's like, no, I really don't think I would, but appreciate the offer. But as you can see, like, she's not in her crate. She's just walking around. She's learned to take in, like, the whole basement kind of, she understands that if she needs to empty her bladder and somehow no one's catching Percy wrong, she's starting to, like, lick the paint on the wall. So I just need to tell her, wrong. And look what I have handy for these occasions. Should I throw the ball? That'll keep her busy for a couple minutes. She'll run around. She'll jump on the bed. She'll play with the ball. But yeah, it's like sometimes you have to look at it as, I'm here for medical reasons. I had a scare, and, there's zero political, please, in what I'm saying. Zero political. I was a nurse for 26 years. I'm speaking as someone who is very pro-health care, being proactive about taking good care of your health. And, like, I'm someone who took a flu shot every year, probably for the last 30 years, because I've had asthma since I was a child, and the flu is very dangerous to people with asthma. So obviously, COVID-19 was very dangerous to people with asthma. So I got my first shot at the beginning of April, and I got my second shot, like, one of the last days of April. She's trying to pull my socks off. We're still working on that one. Wrong. Where's the ball? Go get the ball. Go get the ball. It's on Mommy's bed. It's on Mommy's bed. Go get the ball. Go get the ball. It's on Mommy's bed. Go get the ball. She'd rather try to pull my socks off. After my second shot, I had a massive asthma flare-up. Was on steroids for over a month to get it back under control, to get my breathing decent. I was having episodes of feeling like I was going to pass out if I would even walk a short distance, or even standing, like just working at the counter, like say do some kitchen work or doing, repotting some plants. Tis that time of year for us gardeners. And, between my doctor and I, we figured out, it's like, okay, you're off all of the asthma meds that would be causing these symptoms, which means something else is going on. And then we caught 2 episodes of my heartbeat dropping dangerously low, once into the 40s and once into the 30s, and with an irregular beat. So, no proof yet, because it's only been a couple of, there was one other episode I felt when I was in the car. I did spend a week and a half ago. I was in the hospital they admitted me Tuesday, stayed till Thursday afternoon, where they kept me on continuous monitoring, where they did notice if I even got up and like walked the 3 feet from my bed to my bathroom, that my heart rate would go up to 130, which obviously is not normal from a resting heart rate of like 70 for someone who's of a healthy weight and never had a cardiac problem before in their life. But my doctor said there's no coincidence that, you know, the worst asthma flare I've had in years came the day after the vaccine. And he said it would, not be prudent to assume that maybe other organs had an inflammatory response as well, including my heart. So we're trying to be safe. Don't worry, I'm not about to flash a pink. Could be mistaken for nakedness, but sports bra, full coverage. Just want to show you the leads. I am wearing a continuous monitor, cardiac monitor, for 2 weeks. It's just like a little, the machine itself is in like a little fanny pack I wear around my waist. Some people wear them over their shoulder, like a little shoulder bag. Is Big Head getting in the picture? I could tip it down so Big Head is in the picture. Yes, she is. Good girl. She's just staying out of the picture. She's just staying out of the picture. Someone smells a little gassy. I'm not going to name any names. All right. I know Patrick just took you. But yeah, so definitely a bit of a scare because I never had any heart problems before. And it seems like I've developed one since the second vaccine. And again, no political statement here. I'm pro-vaccine, not from a political perspective, but from a healthcare perspective. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. I respect your opinion. If you're someone who doesn't take vaccines, just being a healthcare professional, being someone who has been protected from catching things because I'm vaccinated, and I've had to take care of people who are actively sick with that disease, personally, my choice is to get vaccinated. I'm not telling you what to do. That's between you and your doctor. And of course, your own, some people have religious beliefs concerning these things, and I would not be one to stand here and question someone else's beliefs. But I'm just telling you that's what happened to me, was after the second dose. And if people are wondering, I got the Pfizer. A few people have asked me that. I don't know that it matters which one I had gotten. The reaction probably would have been the same. I do have a lot of medication allergies, so I was someone who was high risk to have a bad reaction. So while I'm down here getting a full cardiology workup, wearing this monitor, got tons of blood work, we had to make the best of, okay, my mom has a small 2-bedroom house. I'm trying to pretend my toes aren't being chewed on while the dog's trying to remove my socks. And it was like, how do you... Percy, go get a Chewy. Go get a toy. Go get the ball. It's on Mommy's bed. Go get the ball. It's on Mommy's bed. There's a goofy girl. There's my goofy girl. Kisses? She's like, no, I'd rather bite you right now. I'm like in a Chewy mood because it's, what is it? It's almost 8:30 at night. 9 o'clock, she gets her last meal of the evening. She rests for a while, and then Patrick will take her out, like usually around like 10 before he goes to bed. Because like by 9, I'm beat. My neurologist, who takes care of my headaches, had me start taking melatonin in the daytime, which, if you're not familiar with melatonin, a lot of people take it at night. It's a natural chemical your brain makes that helps you fall asleep. So a lot of people take it at night as sort of an herbal, I don't know if it counts as herbal. It's something your body naturally makes. They take it as a supplement at night to help them sleep. So this is my 4th day of taking it in the daytime, and like I took like a 2-hour nap this afternoon, which is not like me. Like, I'm a day person. I go to bed early, but once I get up in the morning, I'm up. So it's weird for me to have that like groggy feeling. Stop biting my feet. That's wrong. That's wrong. No. Now of course she's going to embarrass me and be terrible. She's such a good girl most of the time. I think it's because I'm like actively ignoring her while I'm shooting the video. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, like, that's what's been going on with me. That's why you haven't seen any videos. please don't let this stop anyone from getting the vaccine who needs it. I am like one of those 1 in a million cases who just had a really bad reaction. And like I said, I've had reactions, never to vaccines per se, but to a lot of different medications I've had bad reactions. So I was definitely in the high risk group to have a bad reaction to the vaccine. So, please don't let this stop you from getting the vaccine. But if you are in a high risk group, if you're someone who has a lot, if you carry an EpiPen because you've ever had a severe anaphylactic reaction, or if you have a lot of medication allergies, if you haven't been vaccinated yet, talk to your doctor about getting the vaccine at a hospital or in a doctor's office, and not just at a pharmacy or a freestanding clinic where there may not be the level of medical care available you need if you have a serious reaction. That would be my only advice on that matter. But yeah, so I'm wearing the monitor. I have to wear it for 2 weeks. It got mailed to me. She's still trying to pull my socks off, and she's grabbing a toe once in a while. I'm trying to be stoic here for you people. But yeah, I have to wear the monitor for 2 weeks. Now Percy, wrong. You're gonna have to go in your room, Jill. We know how we feel about being put in timeout. A timeout usually lasts about 30 seconds. It's just kind of to remind her, like, you need to calm down. I never use the crate as punishment, but I do use it, like I said, with me standing right there, just for like a 30-second, you need to calm down if she's getting too rough. Because remember, I'm disabled. She's supposed to be learning to be my service dog. She has to learn that when I say you need to mellow out, she needs to mellow out. I can't be, especially if I were standing up and she started doing this, she could knock me over very easily. She's definitely big enough. And she needs to know that this can't go on. And you're going to see an example of that. See, impromptu little session of you need to calm down. Okay. And again, she is not just secured in her crate, which is certainly big enough for her to comfortably lie down and relax in. She has the whole playpen area over there. Like I said, it's like about 6 feet by 8 feet. I'll even turn this a little bit so you can see. She's got a nice big area to walk around in. She's got her litter box in there. She's got a rug to lie on. She's got toys. And yeah, that's just my mom's stuff up on, storage up on shelves. But yeah, so if she's not behaving like she should out in the general area, she loses access to the general area until her behavior becomes appropriate. And a lot of times it's just like dealing with a cranky toddler. You've played with them, they're overtired. They ate, she has water. But she starts getting overtired. She doesn't want to take a nap. She's a little overstimulated. We were playing tug of war. We were playing with the ball. We were, jumping on the bed playing with the bully stick. And now she's going to poop in the litter box, even though Patrick just walked her before I filmed this. So basically I'm saying sometimes to take care of yourself, like my doctors are 4 hours from home. I've got friends and neighbors, looking after my house, watering my plants. I'm a garden person. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm a gardener. I have a whole playlist that has to do with gardening. I have a playlist just that has to do with the dog. I have a playlist of unboxings, because I do things that, people may be interested in one of those categories and not others. By the way, I didn't even say, hey, it's Denise. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back, those of you who've been here before. And just basically, sometimes you have to compromise. Did I plan on us having to travel and stay down here? No. But I could not get the medical care and get in with the specialist that I needed, quickly, upstate, in a very rural area where I live. There just isn't the medical care that I can get down here, which it may seem like, why would you travel somewhere weird? Well, this isn't somewhere weird. It's where I lived most of my adult life, was in this area. So it's only the last 9 years or so that I haven't lived down here. My primary doctor, who's my pulmonologist, is still down here. and everyone he's connected to is down here. And quite frankly, the hospitals I would want to be in if I had to be hospitalized, because they were talking about possibly having to put a pacemaker in. I'd much rather have that done at some place that's recognized as a cardiac surgery center of excellence than my little local podunk hospital. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted this video to show you, like, yeah, this is my mom's basement. It's a big, cinder block, full height ceiling basement, so it's not like we're, living hunched over in some, hobbit hole. Nothing against hobbit holes, they're lovely, but they're not for the tall. Not that I'm super tall, but you know what I'm getting at. It's not a bad place to be. You might be horrified, like, oh my God, you're in the basement, but it made more sense for us to be able to spread out and have enough room for her, and then for me to have an air mattress so that I can sleep in the same room with her. I can hang out, watch stuff on my computer with her, and it's a lot less disruptive to our routine and to everybody else's routine in the house. My mom's only a couple of years short of 80. My older son has some issues that make it difficult for his routine to be disrupted, and it just wasn't going to work putting her in a little 4-foot by 4-foot playpen in the middle of the living room, which was not enough room for her, but it was taking up the whole living room and disrupting everybody else. So I was like, you know what? I can make the basement work for us. Why don't you just let me move us down there? And we are much happier. It took a day or two of adjusting because it was like in the daytime it was a comfortable temperature here, and then at night I was freezing. Got the right number of blankets on my air mattress. Like I said, went out, bought a mat for her to sleep on so that she's got somewhere to lay. Personally, she likes to cool off on the concrete because her fur is getting thick and she's about a week overdue for grooming. I don't want to just take her to some random groomer when it took us so long to establish after her first grooming experience made her fearful. It took us a while to get her comfortable. She loves her groomer. I'd rather she wait a week or two until I can get us up there. And, she's in a house with central air and she's spending most of her time in the basement, which is cooler than the rest of the house. So that's kind of where we're at. I just wanted to tell you, like, if you have to travel or we spent 3 days at a hotel that we didn't expect to do. She was awesome. I set up her playpen, attached to her crate, and used some zip ties just to secure it. And, because Jay, my older dog, now Jay is upstairs. He sleeps on the couch up there in the one room. They put up a baby gate. And that's the room where my sons have, like, their computers set up. They're both taking a summer course. So they're both doing one class online during summer session. And then the rest of the time they can, be playing their video games or talking to their friends online or having friends over. Basically, within our circle, my mother's a cancer survivor. She has no spleen, which means her immune system is severely compromised. Now, her cancer was a long time ago, but losing your spleen is permanent, and that leaves you with a very compromised immune system. So, anyone who basically comes into her house has to be immunized. But that's no problem because both of my sons are immunized, and any of his friends who wish to come over have to be immunized. And a lot of times they'll just come over and then, the guys will run out, get pizza, get burgers, whatever. And then sometimes they'll come back and hang at the house for a little while. Other times they'll just go out to eat. And then, I was going to say, I think I just heard the flipping over of the bowl, which lets me know she finished her water. She has no problem communicating her needs. So, again, I went over more time than I meant to, but I just wanted to let you know. Don't give up hope or think like, oh my God, I can't make this work because, something unexpected. I didn't expect to have an over month-long asthma attack from the second vaccine. I didn't expect them to then discover a cardiac condition that I did not have prior to the vaccine. Luckily, so far, it's causing shortness of breath. It's causing me to not be able to do much of anything that takes any exertion. I'm kind of on modified bed rest. I mean, yeah, I can get up and walk around within the house, but I'm not supposed to be walking the dog. I'm not supposed to be out in the heat. I'm not supposed to be really doing too much of anything which raises my heart rate. And it takes, like, just regular walking around raises my heart rate. So is it frustrating? Yes. Is it a reason, to throw your hands in the air and cry and life sucks? No. You just gotta have, be a little creative. And in our case, to keep the peace and to keep, from everyone interrupting, like my mom and my older son and my younger son to a lesser degree are more night owls. Me and Percy are, early morning people. So it just made sense. There's no way I could sleep up there. I'm on an air mattress. What was I going to do? Be in the middle of the living room while people are watching TV? Like, how do you sleep like that? So it just made more sense to, like, claim our spaces down here where, other than doing laundry, nobody really needs to come. And my mom certainly, can do her laundry before we go to bed. She has no problem doing it during the day so that she doesn't, she's not coming down here at midnight doing laundry. And actually the house is built into a hill, so the basement has, the back side of the basement has regular full-size windows. There's then a door into a one-car garage, which, being that my parents never used it as a garage, my dad is deceased. Those of you who've been watching my channel know my dad died about 1.5 years ago. They never used the garage as a garage. It used to have a flooding issue, which she since had corrected, but they took out the garage door, put in a regular wall, and just had like a people-sized door, like actually sliding glass door, put in. So, it's extra storage space, and it gives Percy a way to come in and out. Patrick walks her walking in and out through that door, so she doesn't even have to go upstairs. And possibly, I think my mom's biggest concern, and like I said, my mom's almost 80. She's, Percy's still a puppy. She's still a baby. She doesn't realize how big she is. So my mom's biggest concern is that Percy will jump up and knock her over, which is a valid concern for someone who's 5'3" and almost 80 years old. When you're dealing with a puppy who's well over 40 pounds and still thinks, they're a tiny puppy. Percy doesn't mean any harm, but she could very easily knock my mom over, and none of us wants that to happen. So having Patrick come and walk her through the basement door, and we also joke, it's like our airlock. You make sure that she's in there with both doors closed before you open the door to either bring her back into the house or to walk her out. It's sort of a safety zone to make sure the leash is securely on her. She can't slip through a door before you've got the leash on, or because someone else is walking in and you didn't know someone was coming. So as long as that outer door is always kept closed, which it is, if someone were to walk in that way and they close the door behind themselves before they walk in the basement door, and really nobody comes and goes that way because the front door, the main entrance to the house, is one level up on that side of the house, which, as you can see, because it's just used as storage shelves, there are no windows on that side. That side of the house is built into a hill. So it's like when you come in to the house, it looks like it's just a one-story, which it really is. It's a one-story house, but the downstairs is a story below, if that makes sense, and yet opens to the outside because it is built into a hill. So we have a dehumidifier. It's nice and cool and comfortable. And like I said, there's that old saying, bloom where you're planted. And instead of, oh, we're in a basement, this is terrible. Some people might be offended that they're, I'm at a relative's house and I'm having to stay in the basement. The way I'm looking at it is, it makes it easier for everybody. It takes the stress off of everybody. It gives my girl room to have a much bigger playpen than she could have upstairs, so she's got more room to walk around. Jay is upstairs. Jay is my 15-year-old beagle. He will be 16 in August. He and I have the same birthday. We're August 15th babies. He'll be 16. So they have to be kept separated because she plays way too rough. She would accidentally hurt him. And at his age, he's not up for that. You definitely don't want him getting hurt. So they have to be kept separate anyway. At home, she basically lives upstairs and he lives downstairs. And, that works out in our house. But here, where, it was like, where are we going to put the baby gate? The only answer was she was basically confined to her crate attached to this little 4-foot square. When you buy the dog playpen, it's really more appropriate to like a rabbit or a small animal or a very small dog. For just sitting outside to get some fresh air, it's fine. But in terms of being able to move around in 2 steps, she's got long strides, she's got long legs, she's a tall dog, and she's not even done growing. So it wasn't reasonable to expect her to be cooped up in that small an area. Even though she loves being where the people are, it just wasn't enough space for her to be able. Whereas down here, like I said, like she can come out, we play tug of war, we throw the ball around, we throw the toys around. I can get her a little exercise. It's almost 90 degrees outside. It was 87 degrees today. There's no way she can be out there and playing because within 2 seconds she's panting. I've gone over a half hour, which I try not to do. I know people get bored. But again, I just wanted to give encouragement. Even like what looked like an impossible situation, I suddenly need to be in the hospital. My dog, Patrick, my younger son, is the only one who knows how to handle her special diet and is accustomed to taking care of her besides me. And we needed a space where we were not going to make our hosts crazy. So this worked out. My mom and I talked about it in advance before I came down, and we decided that we'd set up the basement for Percy and I, basically. My little old man, Jay, can sleep on the couch upstairs like he always does. They just put the baby gate to keep him in the living room. And that's where the boys hang out anyway, so he gets to be with Patrick, which is where he wants to be. And, I just wanted to give everybody encouragement, and also about your health. Like right now, this is a bit of a scare. I don't know if there was permanent cardiac damage done, which there may well have been. It can take months to pick up because the arrhythmias only happen very infrequently, but they can be lethal. If they don't last so far, luckily, they've only lasted a short time when I have one, and it stops itself. It didn't require intervention to stop it. But they have to actually catch one while I'm wearing a monitor like I am now, which I'll be wearing for 2 weeks, and then I mail it in and they analyze it and see if they see anything. My cardiologist said it can take months, it can take a year to actually catch one on the monitor and know what you're dealing with. And of course, then you always have the hope that I'm just dealing with some inflammation, which could resolve over the course of the next couple months and never come back. That would be the best case scenario. They've seen that reaction mostly in younger, much younger than me. I'm 52. They've seen that in people in their late teens and, early 20s where they've gotten some endocarditis after the vaccine and or having COVID. So I'm hoping that maybe that's what I had, and if that's the case, in 3 to 6 months, it could go away on its own. I got my second vaccine at the end of April, so, it's already been almost 2 months. So I'm, fingers crossed that that's what I had, in which case it could go away without me needing to end up needing a pacemaker, which they were talking about, an implanted defibrillator, which they were talking about, which is scary stuff. Nobody likes the thought of one of those in their chest. I had a cousin who has since passed away who had to have one, and he said basically if that thing went off, it was like being kicked in the chest by a horse, and you're fully conscious for it, which then had him like living on tranquilizers for the rest of his life because he basically was living in fear that he would do something that would make his heart rate get too fast and it would set the thing off, which, yes, it can save your life, but it's a scary way to live, never knowing when that's going to happen. So certainly you don't want that if you don't need it. I would much rather give it time, let them monitor me, and let's hope it was just inflammation, like how there was the inflammation in my lungs. And in the meantime, give your puppy, your dog, the benefit of the doubt that as long as you make sure their needs are met, they've got a safe space. In her case, she's litter box trained. We never made a successful transition to the puppy pad. She still thinks they need to be chewed up and turned into, confetti, snow, whatever you want to call it. If she gets access to one of those puppy pads, there's just white fluff everywhere. So again, sorry I took so long to talk about it. Sorry it's been so long since I posted a video. Really had quite the health scare. And for a while I couldn't even talk without coughing, so it would have just been incredibly annoying to watch. Thank you for watching my channel. I am trying to grow my channel. I appreciate you sharing my videos. I appreciate the kind words and encouragement. And please take the moment to hit the like button, comment. It really does help with, I know I feel like a used car salesman here. I hate asking this stuff. But it really does help YouTube put my video in front of other people who might be interested in watching it if you take the time to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, the things that let them know that you found the content interesting and or helpful. And I personally, from the heart, from the slightly not quite right ticker right now, I do appreciate you taking the couple seconds to click on those like, subscribe, and notification buttons, because it does help put my videos in front of people who might enjoy them and might find them useful. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you're doing well. I hope your fuzzy babies are doing well. And again, thank you for watching. Have a great day.